Hello and welcome to episode 3 of the Motorsport Files. Thank you very much to each and every one of you that has subscribed or followed one of the social channels. It really does mean the world and it does help us to grow. So if you know anybody who might be interested in the content, please do share it for us and we will do our very best to provide the best in motorsport coverage. Now, we've been doing quite a lot of rallying over the first 2 episodes of the podcast, which I've loved. It's been brilliant, and I've really enjoyed getting to grips with some of the history of rallying as well. But for this episode, we're going to look more to racing. So today, we've not got a huge amount of confirmed rock-solid information. I've scoured the internet. I've scoured the company websites, the socials. There's not a lot of actual solid information to be garnered at the moment. So again, a bit like F1, most of it's rumor and conjecture. What we do know, and I'm just going to refer to my little spreadsheet that I've made here, we've got 6 drivers only that have been confirmed as signing for their teams. Of those, just so that you know, we've got Tom Ingram and Tom Chilton for Team Virtue in the Accelerate Hyundai. We've got Dan Camish and Ash Sutton. Not quite in the Ford. We'll come on to that in a bit, but they've signed for Alliance. And then we've got Aaron Taylor-Smith and Gordon Shedden signing for Speedworks TGR Toyota. The rest are all up for grabs. We do have some other definite news that obviously Jake Hill has left to go to GT3. Michael Kreese, I don't see getting a budget. He's had a bit of a on-off kind of a couple of seasons over the past few years. Last year, he only did 6 months before his budget ran out. And Nick Halstead, of course, is the other driver to have retired from the grid. We've also got a brand new team in the form of Plato Racing.
You forgot Dan Lloyd, who's having a sabbatical.
No, yeah, Dan Lloyd's gone too, hasn't he? So we're really looking at about 20 seats that still need to be confirmed. Of those, 2 of them are a brand new team. And then you've got those that have definitely left. I've been having a look and trying to guesstimate where we think people are going to place. Now, I've got to be honest, I don't see Team Virtue changing. Even though they've got 2 of the 4 licenses confirmed, I do see Adam Morgan and Senna Proctor taking those other 2 seats, and Senna actually taking it for the full year as well. He's done an amazing job at backing up Tom Ingram. He's helped back Mark on a number of occasions last year, which has helped Tom run away with the win. He's probably an almost dead certain. Again, Adam Morgan's done a pretty good year. He was a fairly respectable point scorer last year. So I do see that them staying the same. Napa, we've got Ash and Dan that have confirmed. Sam Osborne is obviously part of the family. He's going to re-sign. I don't see him going anywhere. I do have a question mark with regards to Dan Rowbottom, though. He's basically played second fiddle to Dan Cam and Ash Sutton for probably 1 or 2 years now. He's almost been the official third place driver. And he's even moved garages as well. He's gone to the other side now. Outside of the track, he's been working quite a lot, funnily enough, with Jason Plato on his own private driving films. So he's had plenty of time to sit and chill with him after filming and talk. And if this whole thing with Plato Racing hasn't come up, I will be incredibly shocked. So I think the likelihood that Dan might sign for Plato Racing is pretty strong. It'd be a good move for Dan. He'll be number 1 driver, more than likely, in a brand new car where he'll get to hopefully shine. There is a good chance he might just go, no, I'm in a safe place at Napa, I'll stay where I am. But I think it's a good chance that he will move, which opens up a seat at Napa. LKQ, I think that'll be the same. They've only got 3 licenses, and I think that'll be Aidan Moffat, Charles Rainford, and Darrell De Leon, who, whilst trying for Porsche Carrera Junior Cup, he didn't quite win it. he came close, second or third, I think. Did well, but I think he'll still be back this year. And then further down the list, we've got PMR. They are bringing a brand new car to the track this time in the form of, I think it's the two models go, Audi S3. They've got, I reckon, Mikey Doble. I think he'll re-sign, but they've got another two seats open that are wide open as well. And then further down, we've got the probably the bottom end. We've got One Motorsport Honda, possibly Josh Cook, unless he moves to Plato. And then we've got Unlimited and Restart Racing. But again, there's some big gaps there. What do you reckon yourself, Gary? Do you reckon there's going to be much in the way of movement this year?
The six who've been announced, I think, like say the Western Racing, I think that's fairly certain. I think all the others are up for grabs, and unfortunately, it's got nothing to do with ability. It's got to do with budget. But a lot of what you touched on there could happen. I don't think it will. I think new people coming in again. I think there's got to be new drivers. You've said that already. There's more cars. There's two more cars this year. We've lost at least 3, if not 4, of last year's drivers. Simple maths tells you there's a hole. So I think we could be looking at half a dozen new drivers. I think it's quite interesting. For me, the drivers are only part of it. The thing which I found interesting, and it all started off with Mr. Plato and his Mercedes, because he very much pointed out it's a Mercedes A35, which I find quite funny because I'm of an age, and an A30 and A35 brings up a very different picture from a Mercedes. But you've got to be of an age to understand that.
So for our younger viewers, the A35 was a tiny little black car made by Morris. Oh, was it Austin?
Yeah.
Austin, back in the 50s. Google it. It's cute.
Yeah. And if he turns up with one of those on the grid, it'd be fantastic. He's gone for the Mercedes A35 Saloon.
Yeah.
Not hatch, Saloon. You've then got to remember that the Hyundai, which is a very, very successful car, is the fastback. It is not the hatchback. And Power Max Racing, who have gone to Audi A3s, have gone for the Saloon.
Yes.
Not the hatchback. This is aerodynamics. I'm fairly certain that the wing on the back of BTC cars is for display purposes only, and it's not actually anything at all. It's basically flat. It's non-functional. It just looks good. So I think the teams are working out. The aerodynamics is getting up there. So the shape of the car helps dramatically. I just find it interesting that it seems to be a theme appearing there with the base car. People are now specifically looking and studying.
I think they'll perform better at places like Thruxton, where they're super, super fast circuits. They'll just be a bit more stable.
There is one thing which is changing for next season in the BTCC. The qualifying is going to be decided by a race on the Saturday afternoon.
Yeah.
The traditional qualifying session. I think there is going to be a qualifying session for the qualifying race, which seems to defeat the whole object of the exercise.
Race. Yeah.
Last year, I came to the conclusion that BTCC had actually become a qualifying formula. What I'm getting at is, if you screwed up the qualifying on Saturday, you could screw up your weekend.
Don't you think that's part of what makes the BTCC so damn exciting, though?
It obviously works. It obviously works, because you look back over the last few years and how close it has been. Did this year go to the last meeting?
Yeah. Last round.
Yeah, if you're getting down to the last round every year, they've got something correct. They've got something right. You're not having it being won by with 2 races to go, or not 2 races, 2 meetings to go. I think this having the 3 race weekend is quite a hard thing to crack, because you could turn up with a decent lead, and if you have a mare of a weekend, for example, you qualify badly and make a complete mess of your qualifying, you could end up nowhere for that whole meeting. You could write off 3 races. And if somebody gets it right, you're those further down could get a shed load of points.
Totally derail your entire championship if you have such a bad weekend. Yeah. That's part of what I love though. You can be in third meeting of the season and have a driver right up at the top end. One race weekend and he's down 4th, 5th, 6th place in the championship that quickly. And similarly the other way as well. You know, you could have somebody in 6th place mid-year that comes through and wins it just by having a great run in the second half of the season.
I can't think of anybody doing it, but it must have happened. You could be on pole for race 1. You have a puncture in race 1 in one of the early laps. You effectively don't finish race 1. That's your weekend gone.
Or get punted off by somebody first corner, which is BTCC, so it's highly likely.
Yeah.
In fact, it's happened to Tom Ingram. I'm sure it's happened to Tom Ingram. In fact, I'm sure it happened last year. He got punted off, and that just totally derailed his entire weekend. Luckily, I mean, he's an absolute star driver, so he managed to pull it all back thanks to his consistency. So, can we just go back a little bit and have a look at some new drivers then? Do you want to have a look at some new drivers? Potentials for coming up?
It's not something I've studied, so I genuinely wouldn't know where to start.
I have been having a look, and I mean, there is one name that you pulled up the other day whilst we were chatting. I do want you to mention that in a minute. I've been looking at a few, and some names that I've come up with are Lewis Selby. He is a managing director of Alliance Racing, but he's also competing in the Mini Challenge, which, if you are a regular at the BTCC meetings, you will have seen him. He came third last year in the Mini Challenge, driving a Napa Mini. And if anybody's going to fill any potential seat at Napa, I think he's probably a fairly strong bet. I don't think Dan Zelos will be back. I think he's too busy doing, Porsches, I think. We've got George Gamble, who we have seen before in previous years. He's raced with Adam Morgan at Sicily Motorsport in a Toyota just a couple of years back. He's just recently won the Porsche Carrera Cup last year. Again, strong contender for a seat in BTCC. Let's not forget, this is generally the ground where these drivers come from. They are the feeder series into BTCC. There's a couple as Tom Ovenden as well. He's a potential to come up. I think he was second or third as well in the Minis. There are some really great drivers coming up in the Porsches and the Minis. You did, however, mention somebody the other day when we were chatting about a return. Do you remember who that was?
I'm desperately trying to remember.
A very familiar Irishman?
That's not going to help me.
BMW?
Yeah, I know where this is going now. I still can't remember the name because I'm hopeless with names. You're good. Go.
You wanted good old Colin Turkington to return into the BM, and I have seen other reports online.
I don't think he wanted to leave. I think he left because of, again, budget reasons, from what we're led to understand. He has driven front-wheel drive in the past. He's driven all sorts of things. I'm fairly certain he might have had a season certainly driving against or even a teammate of Mr. Plato. They're bound to know one another.
Oh, they definitely know each other.
And it's interesting that all the drivers you think are going to come into BTCC are all young people from
feeder series,
other formulas and race disciplines. Can't think of any off the top of my head. But what about more left field things? Somebody, either a driver coming in from abroad who's got touring car experience. It's happened in the past.
Yes, it has.
There's been a rich history of expat drivers in the BTCC. Champions have come in. Plato knows somebody from another series. That'd put the cat amongst pigeons. Get somebody from DTM.
Well, I must admit, the BTCC Mercedes in Britain is hugely popular, but I don't know if that translates abroad. Do people in Germany know how great a series we have here? Do the drivers even want to come over here? Be interesting to know. I did read something actually about Napa. It was quite an old article, so it was dated May of last year, and it was they were talking about the cars for 26. Now it was essentially an article about them swapping manufacturers. As we all know, the Focus is long since dead, as is pretty much all of their range of half-decent motors now. And they don't have a suitable, well, they don't really have any ICE-powered car anymore. It's almost totally EVs now. The Focus
Puma
itself is quite old. I think the Puma's too big. I really do. I think it's too big and it's too high for a touring car. I don't see it.
It won't be. I don't think it's too big because it's basically a Fiesta on steroids.
It's quite high though.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's quite high. I just think it's because nobody else has even come up with the lunacy of using anything approaching an SUV. Thank goodness.
I don't think they will. Judging by what I've read, I don't think anybody's that interested in running an SUV on the BTCC circuit. The other option then is, well, actually, that was the whole point of the article. He was talking about bringing a new manufacturer in. He wouldn't say who, to be fair, and we haven't had another article about this since. I did see a Reddit post though about this. A couple of people were discussing who they thought the mark might be, and you do get kind of down to the same problem that rallying has. There just isn't that many marks anymore. There aren't that many brands. Most of them are under umbrella companies, but the one that they suggested was Kia, which I thought was pretty interesting. Similar to the Focus.
The only thing I can see what might scupper that before you've started is that it is effectively Hyundai, because Kia and Hyundai are the same company.
I didn't know that. Okay, that scuppers that idea.
Look at the VW group. They've competed against one another, and what is now Stellantis have quite happily wasted the money competing against themselves in the past.
Well, so
Citroën and Peugeot.
So did the Fiat Group in the past. Fiat and
Lancia. It's not new.
No, it's not. But I think in today's world, I don't see it happening. I think with Hyundai there, I think they will just carry that on.
I think the difference is what we're no doubt missing here is we are talking about competition at manufacturer level or within a manufacturer. If you've got a little English racing team, Napa Racing, Alliance Racing, who decide they want to take a Kia Racing, if they're not asking Kia for any sponsorship or anything like that, who's to stop them?
I think that's the problem that it is manufacturer involvement, and they are in discussions with this manufacturer. The problem being is that with the uncertainty in the car market, in the normal road traffic car market, and they just don't know what's happening. These marks just don't know which model to push. And if it hasn't been confirmed by, let's say, November at the absolute latest of last year, they won't have had time to develop and build a car, which means they're stuck with the Focus.
What I'm getting at here is, I can't see there's anything stopping Alliance or anybody else going out and buying 4 Kia whatevers and building race cars from them.
No, there isn't. I mean, as a private team, absolutely not. They're free to do whatever they like and homologate that for the time period. But they are a semi manufacturer team. I don't think there is. Is there a? Yeah, there's a couple of actual manufacturer teams in there. I think there's only 3 or 4 that are registered as manufacturer teams, and Napa Racing are one of them, or Alliance Racing are one of those manufacturer teams. So I have to assume that it is in close working partnership with one of the manufacturers, be it Kia or whoever it might be. I am actually struggling to think who else it could be, because most of them are already represented on the grid. So you've got to really look at who the hell's left.
Even if you totally disregard who's on the grid, it's when you start thinking who is actually selling internal combustion engined hatchbacks or saloons in the UK.
Very few now. It's all
And
SUV.
you work backwards from your answer. For some reason, it just flashed through my mind because I found myself driving down into Bradford past where all the garages are. Either Volvo, nope. Ford, nope. Skoda, Fabia. But that goes rallying. So Skoda won't be interested, but you could have one of those. VW, Golf, Polo. Yeah, they're still
Same
have
group,
engines
isn't
last
it?
time I looked. Same group. You've also then got Peugeot and Citroën. Why can't somebody get a Peugeot 3, whatever, 2, whatever?
I suppose it could be the Stellantis group there.
There's nothing there.
There's nothing, is there?
And Stellantis are bonkers enough to do that or agree to get involved in that. I mean, they make some wonderfully crazy decisions. So they've got the option. Do you want to brand it as an Opel, a Vauxhall, a Citroën, or a Peugeot? And it doesn't matter because they're all the same bloody car.
I've just had a thought. This year marks the return of Lancia to the WRC. Historically, BTCC cars and World Rally cars have never been that far apart from each other. Could we see a Lancia Ypsilon on a BTCC track?
My only thing, which I think would shoot that down in flames, is don't sell Lancias in this country.
Yet. There's nothing to stop them.
Nothing to stop them. There's nothing to stop them. This is what happens when you get me talking, my brain starts short-circuiting.
I like it.
This craziness comes out. But then you sort of think, just because I started off thinking Ford and Volvo, no. Then you touch on the VW group. Audi are in there.
Yes.
They're new. So
yeah.
I don't see, because of the level they're going in, if you're not asking a manufacturer for any cash, and you're quite happy to go and buy 4 of their standard things to get all the body shells and go off and build your car, but you're going to use a Toka engine. You don't want whatever's under the bonnet. You don't want any of the suspension. You don't want anything. You just want their convenient box to bolt this all into. So I don't see why you couldn't use those. Well, like I say, you've got the whole of Stellantis to go with.
Yeah.
Who else do we throw in there? BMW are already there. Mini don't make anything big enough, which is suitable.
Well, it's
all the Chinese things
old.
are electric.
Yeah, they are.
All the Chinese things are electric and SUV blobby things of varying sizes.
Kia, so you got your Korean market, haven't you? Which you've kind of got Hyundai there anyway, but
Toyota are there. Mazda don't sell any cars. They sell SUVs. But they don't sell cars anymore. I can't think of any.
I mean, you've got American, I suppose. Could see a Chrysler back in again, potentially.
I have no idea what saloons or anything like that the Americans are actually making for themselves. Now, Honda have just announced a Prelude who do hatchback.
Yeah.
Ooh, that'll look slick.
And it'll be fast too. It would be fast too. That would look amazing. We'll have to get AI to do a bit of a render on that and see what we can come up with. Send it off to them.
So we started off sort of poo-pooing our own idea that BTC had backed itself or had used up all the options. On the face of it.
And let's not forget the regs change. Yeah, regs change for 27.
They become a lot more open, don't they, over what you can and can't do.
So that is an open invitation to a new manufacturer.
Because are they changing it? Are they changing it that the car you base it on doesn't even have to be sold in this country or something? So I'm waiting for somebody to come up with some fantastically aerodynamic car which is only sold in Malaysia, which nobody else has ever heard of.
Hello, Lancia. Hello. We're here to join you. Oh, I can see it happening. I can see it. they've put all this time and effort into it. It wouldn't be that difficult to cross it over for the BTCC. Get a couple of decent drivers in, of which there's probably quite a few now. I think I want to back. Say I'm doing it. I'm going to go all in, and I'm going to say Lancia will be hitting the grid from 27.
Have they ever been in the BTCC? Alpha have, haven't they?
Yeah, Alpha have.
It was Alpha, which did really well.
159. It was an amazing machine. I loved that machine. Absolutely loved it. I think the only time a Lancia will have been on a race circuit in any shape or form like that will have been as part of the Tour of Britain back in the rallying days. But I think that only ever happened twice as well. So, and that'll have been a little pretty Fulvia. I don't believe they have there. Well, what will it have been? The Delta? Nah. No, there was no Lancia kicking about when Sierra Cosworth was on track. It will have been the Alpha 159 Lotus Carlton. Was it Lotus Carlton? Sierra.
Looking, having a quick dirty Google search. Touring cars, no. Race cars,
Nothing.
Yes. Rally cars, definitely. The Odd Le Mans car, yes. Not touring cars.
Not touring cars, never been interested. Have you got anything else that you want to chat about then before we tie everything up? I think we've pretty much covered that, haven't we?
I don't think so. I think the thing with the touring cars, it's all a bit of a mystery drivers wise. It's going to clarify itself really quickly. They've got their first test at Croft on the 24th of March. Today's the 9th of February. So they've got 4 or 5 weeks to get round to announcing this. They've got the official media day for the BTCC at the beginning of April.
Have you got a date for that?
7th or 8th of April, something like that.
Yeah.
That is where they all get the official posed family photographs like it's a wedding and line them up on the grid. So everything will have to be in place for that. And of course, you've got your first round Donington, 19th of April. So that's just over 2 months away. So there's going to be a lot of news coming out. Certainly, I would imagine that 90% of the drivers, if not all of them, will be known for the test at Croft. So that's about 5 weeks away.
Yeah, they'll have to be because they're all going to be turning up. So we're going to know very, very soon. It's going to become publicly known. If you have never been to a BTCC race meeting and you fancy giving it a shot, testing at Croft, if you can get up to Croft in North Yorkshire, testing at Croft is actually free. It will cost you nothing but your lunch and your fuel to get there. That's it. And it's a great way at having a bit of a tasty session. To be honest, even if you want to go to one of the race meetings, it's not expensive. I think I normally pay about, is it 35 quid per ticket, I think, per adult? And that gets you everywhere. It gets you into the paddock. It gets you around the track. You can go, a bit like rallying, you can go and actually meet the drivers so they're not held behind barriers. So if you've never been to one of these and you're wondering what it's all about, I really do encourage you to go and visit your nearest track on the calendar and just go and see what it's all about because it's so much fun. You'll really have a great day. And the people that go, I mean, Gary, you'll know this. Even the spectators are all brilliant. They'll all help you out and they'll all explain something if you don't quite understand it, don't they? I mean, motorsport fans are amazing at that.
The thing I loved about the test day as well, I've been to 1 or 2 over the years. I went up to Croft last year. I think there's 2 sessions, a morning session, afternoon session. The minute the flag drops, there's action. When you think test day, they're not there pootling around. They want to find out what their car can do. So they are going out there. There's track action. There's cars flying around constantly. The only time there's dead time is when everybody decides very sensibly to stop for something to eat. It's fantastic. Like Drew said, you can walk around the back of the paddock. There's nobody in tabards. There's nobody going, you can't go there, mate. You can't do this. If you act sensibly, you can wander wherever you bloody well want, and it's great. Absolutely great.
I mean, you do need a degree of common sense. Don't be standing in ridiculous places where you might get mowed down. I do remember a few years ago, I'm going to say about 3 or 4 years ago, it was raining. It was at Croft again, and there was an almighty accident. Like, was it 10, 15 cars? Do you remember? And they all went off on the same corner, pretty much on the same lap. It was horrific. So just go steady. Think about where you're standing and keep safe. And you'll have an amazing day. As you said, Gary, there's no marshals on to tell you not to go somewhere. So you do get a chance to get some proper photos.
Yeah. I will advise you, if you've never been to Croft before, it is an old airfield. It is famous for its own microclimate of incredibly bad weather. There is no covered viewing area at all. You are, whatever the weather is, that's what you're going to get.
You're in
the
it.
The vast majority of the areas, in fact, bar one road, it is all grass or mud.
I mean,
So
they have put a lot of prepared,
Go prepared. If I ever go to Croft, I take everything from walking boots, waterproofs, puffer jacket, umbrella. I take everything, because whatever it says it's going to do, it's never that.
No, and it's on flat land as well. As it's not hilly, so when the wind gets up, it really bites. It's pretty damn chilly. Right, I think that's pretty much it for us today. Just a quick note, you can follow us on all the major social channels by searching at TMF Pod 23. That's at TMF Pod 23. Or you could sign up to our regular newsletter, which will give you all the updates, and you can get that at www.themotorsportfiles.com, where you'll also find our brand new relaunched website too. Right, Gary, I think that's us done for another week.
Okay.
We'll see you again next week. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you again soon.